What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 34 of the Save Data Cast, your bi-weekly gaming discussion show where we talk news, reviews, and general discussion topics like video game franchises we would like brought back from the dead, resurrected with a phoenix down, brought back to life, necromancied, however you want to phrase it. We want them back in one way, shape, or form. I am your host, David, and joining me today is our fearless, shaded captain, Zach.
Justice
Dickwing
for Dark Cloud.
Damn it, you fucking stole my intro. Son of a bitch. You stole my intro.
That's exactly what you were going to say.
No, yeah, exactly that.
Living up to his unlucky name, we have the unlucky tactician, Jason.
The world shall shine bright for Golden Sun. There we go.
You stole that one from me.
Yeah.
We're just giving the whole podcast away in the opening today.
Yeah, maybe.
Giving the whole thing away in the first minute. And last but certainly not least, we have the hockey stick and sickle itself. That's Elise.
Yours, woke moralists. Who cancels who?
Oh shit, Jordan Peterson, get fucked.
Amazing. Sibylla, thank you for this. And also, I saw, before we get into the show proper, I did see a really funny post on like our Tinder the other day, which was someone being like, I'm not getting any matches, what's going on? And it was like a relatively normal profile, and then they had some blurb about them listening to Jordan Peterson in their description, and people just like took a screenshot of it, and they're like, this is why. You're a moron.
Yeah.
Like, it's great. Well, folks, it's been a while since we've had at least Jason on the Save Data Cast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Been a minute.
If I look at my watch, that won't help me.
Damn, Jason's watch has a full 365 calendar on it. Oh, damn. But before we get into our topic of the show, which is gonna be, games we want resurrected, I want to know what y'all been playing, because it's been a while. So, Jason, what have you been playing?
Well, whenever I'm on my stream, I just go back and play games I've already played, so that's really informative. And just do different challenge runs of them, so that's interesting. Oh god, I didn't think you were good at me next. That's pretty rough. That's pretty brutal. Everybody makes fun of Hio for only playing 2 games. I'm really close to them too.
Should we start making fun of you?
Yeah, maybe. I go back and play like the same game over and over again. Jesus, I haven't started. I was gonna maybe start like 3 Hopes, but I'm waiting until more reviews come out for it, so I don't want to do that.
Is that out yet?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it came out like a week ago.
I don't know why I didn't think that was out for like another week.
Mixed things on it, so we'll see how it goes.
I mean, it's a Muso game, like.
Yeah, that, and I've heard the story is what I want to see how they continue off that. I would always just look at the story anyway, so
yeah, I'm interested.
Let me look. I mean, I played Wildermyth like a little bit ago, which was super fun. That was like one of the newer.
That game did look awesome when I tuned into your stream.
What is that game? I didn't tune in.
It's like D&D, but like XCOM, so it's really fun. You have like XCOM. You have people on the map, and they like grow and eventually become like heroes in their own story, and then they have like the chapters and stuff too, and that like events can befall on them in between chapters of like battles. So like you'll do something and like you have to react. Like this guy will be like, do you want to save the villagers or like let them die or something like that? And you might lose an arm or something like that.
Is it kind of like a, I don't know if you've played this, like a Neverwinter Nights, but cutting out a bunch of the fluff?
Yes. You can get straight to battle pretty quickly if you just skip a lot of the story. But I think it's super fun. It was because maybe it's kind of like XCOM-ish, like I said. So
yeah, because you like in Jason's playthrough, he named the characters after several of us, and then it was like, at the end of a match, like, oh shit, Zach found a chest. Inside the chest, he found a spell that transformed him half demon or some shit. And it's like, oh, how do you deal with that?
Zach had a kid too eventually, like to some unknown person. He was also on the team. He was Kid Kaiser. Kid Kaiser fucking popped off, dude. Kid Kaiser was fucking popping off. I don't even know who his mother was, but he was actually just married some unknown woman or something. When Kid Kaiser fucking stayed while Zach was like 75 and still on the team. Me and Kaiser had retired, so
I mean, listen, just like real life, I won't be able to retire ever.
So it's super fun like that. You get like legacy and stuff, and they can come back as like legacy characters in other campaigns. So like if Zach did well in this campaign, he's like a legendary character. Like this is what he can pop in and help out. So
that's cool. Dope.
Yeah, the big thing about is having huge legacies and like expanding on your guys that are already used. So and coming back and such.
And from what I understand, there's a lot of people can create content for the game. So there's
I believe so. Yeah,
there's like campaigns and modules that people make.
Correct. Yes,
which is really cool.
Which is becoming a very normalized thing where the game developers support the mod base. It's a very successful thing or something like that. So you gotta have a good balance.
That sounds like Neverwinter Nights too to me. Just like removing out a bunch of the running through.
It would definitely be something that you could play on save data and do something fun with it, and like have us voice act the guys too.
Yeah,
easily could do it. So something to think about. But that's what I played most recently. That was a new game. Everything else I've played is been old, or I already played it. So unfortunately, I don't have any updates for you. But if I did, I would mail them to you, and they would get to you. And
if you got a new challenge you came up with, because you come up with some fucking weird and difficult challenges when you're doing your runs.
I mean, right now I can only use one weapon type in this game that I'm playing right now.
No.
So
amazing.
Absolutely pretty interesting. So we'll see how it goes. I haven't lost anybody yet, but I plan on tanking for.
Yeah. Elise, what you been playing?
So last time we talked about like what we've been playing, I just played like every FromSoft game available, basically.
I remember this.
Yes.
You
played one of the Dark Souls like 3 times.
I played Elden Ring.
Or Elden Ring, sorry.
Which is the longest one. After that, since the last time we talked, I've played Destiny 2.
You're just going on that. Okay.
Yeah, I have played a couple other things that I could talk about. I played a bit of Monster Sanctuary. I'm not super deep in that game, but it's been pretty cool. It's like Pokemon, but a Metroidvania, which is cool. I really like the fights. I like, it's always 3v3 fights where you can like. Generally, I have like one attacker, one buffer, and then either a like someone in between that like debuffs and attacks or something like that. And then it's like it looks like a Metroidvania, like side on with like you upgrade your double jump or you get the ability to go underwater or all those things, which is like pretty cool progression. I'm not super deep in, as I said, but I'm really enjoying it. That's about all I have to say on that one. Zach, you played Monster Sanctuary, right?
No, Sibylla has recommended this game several times to us.
Yeah.
But I actually have it downloaded, but I have not played it. It is my newest. What is it? Shadow Tactics.
Great. So that's another 3 years for anybody who's counting.
Yeah. Also, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak came out.
Yeah.
I bought Sunbreak on PC because my Switch, for one, I basically haven't used it, and also it's kind of broken. My dock does not work. My dock does not work right now, so I need to either get that repaired or get a new one.
I was not expecting that to be the thing. I was really expecting that you did something to your Switch.
No. Even before that, I haven't used it in a good 6 months or more.
Yeah, I don't think I touched mine since I played Triangle Strategy. So
correct.
Even when I do play my Switch, I literally just connect it to my main monitor, and it's like I was playing on PC, but worse. Which is why. So I bought Sunbreak on PC, which means I need to get a character on PC up to Sunbreak level. And I started doing that, and I got through like the village story. I got to high rank. I was kind of feeling like I wasn't really like my heart wasn't in it. It's kind of like forcing myself to play. So I'm gonna come back to it. I promise I will, because I really, really, really like Rise. I think it's like the best Monster Hunter has ever been, and all the Sunbreak stuff seems really, really cool. There's new monsters. There's old monsters. They brought back fucking Gore Magala, which is one of my favorite monsters ever. I fucking love Gore Magala.
Wow.
I love the monster names in that game.
Stew.
Gore Magala goulash, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
My favorite treat.
And the other thing is, I played like half an hour of Warframe because I wanted to get in. I wanted to. They released the big like story thing, the new war that they've been leading up to for like years at this point. But so I wanted to play that because Warframe I think is a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
But to play that, the new war, you need to have a necromech and a railjack. These are two things that are basically useless in most of the rest of the game. Railjacks do have some. Railjack is basically like a ship that you can actually like pilot.
Well, that sounds dope.
It's a cool idea, but it doesn't really get you much, and it's pretty disconnected from the rest of the game, and it takes a while to get. These are things that like had just released in the last time I was playing the game, and I kind of just ignored them because they weren't worth doing. If I wanted to get those things, it would take me about a week of grinding just to be able to play this story mission. Which, if I was like signing up to get back into Warframe, right, would maybe be fine. But I just wanted to play. So I saw that. I was like, I don't have it in me to be grinding this game out for the next like week or so. And I closed it down.
Damn.
Yeah.
This sounds like character growth, Elise.
Other than that, I've just been playing Destiny 2. The main thing I do want to talk about here is that Grandmasters released for this season, which are basically the biggest combat challenge in the game, where you are forced 25 levels under, which means you do way less damage and enemies take way more damage. Enemies deal way more damage, both ways. And it's basically like you go in with a team of 3 and you will die very quickly. You need to, use cover, use all your tools available to work your way through. And I did 8 of those in the course of like a day to finally get my Conqueror title and guild it. And that was pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Very cool. I actually haven't played a ton of stuff either. So I played number 1. I went back and played Final Fantasy VII, the original.
Oh.
Ooh.
And
what drove you to do that?
The Crisis Core remake coming later this year or next year. Because I didn't play the original Crisis Core. Didn't have a PSP. Still don't have a PSP. Could emulate it, but at this point, I'm just going to play the remake. And I feel like that's also going to be important for the Final Fantasy VII remake proper going forward, since the story changed.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I want to play Final Fantasy VII front to back because I need just to brush up on that stuff, and I love Final Fantasy VII anyway. So played through the whole thing, got the platinum on PlayStation, did all the side quests, all that jazz. Very fun. Still love that game. A lot of things don't age well. They don't tell you where to go, like, ever. That's just an old Final Fantasy thing that I don't think they fixed till like maybe 10.
Yeah.
And even that's because 10 is more on rails than the previous 9.
10 is a hallway.
Yeah. So like that's how they fixed it, was they're just like, no, we're you go in one direction. That's it. Old ones, they don't really tell you where to go, but so it was fine. I had a really fun time with it. The I played it on PlayStation 5 with like the PS4 backwards compatibility, and it has like you just tap in the left stick to like multiply the speed by 3 times, which is just great. Absolutely fantastic. Do recommend if you go back and play those, because boy are they fucking slow. Combat is just a crawl half the time when you're just spamming A to hit attack, or X, I guess, a ton of times. So it was fun. Game's still good. Story is still pretty freaking good. Got my refresher in my brain now. Not 100% convinced now that I actually beat the game when I was younger, because I got to the end and I'm like, I don't remember this.
Wow.
Well, and I might have. There is a place where if you get Yuffie on your team and you go to it, she takes all your magic basically, and you can only get it back if you can beat that section. And if you don't save before that section, or you save during that section,
you can soft lock the shit.
You can get soft locked, which might have happened to me when I was younger, and I may not have finished the game. Because I was definitely in parts where I feel like fucking Gandalf in the Mines of Moria being like, I have no memory of this place. So I might not have ever actually beaten that game. I got close before, and then like the last couple hours, I'm like, did I? Did I finish? So I don't know, but I have now, and it was a good game. And then the other game that I have played a little bit of is Neon White.
Oh yeah,
which is very good.
I've also been playing Neon White.
I've only done 2 missions, and each mission has like 10 levels in it or whatever. But I've only done 2 of those, and man, it's fun. The choosing cards to represent your weapons was a real turnoff for me, but I get why they did it.
Cards.
Yeah.
I hate card systems, so I thought when I saw cards, I'm like, oh, this has a card system. It doesn't. It's not a card system. No. They just chose to represent a thing with cards. But yeah, no, Neon White's really fun. I'm only a little bit in, so I'm not really far enough to talk about the story at all. There is, however, a cat named Raz.
There is.
Which is just fucking awesome. Yeah.
Wild.
There's an angel cat named Raz. It's the fucking best. He wears like a beanie. He's dope. I love him.
What are the odds of that?
Really low. Extremely low.
He's a bartender.
He's a bartender at a bar that doesn't have alcohol. But yeah, I'm having a ton of fun with that game so far, and it has taken competitiveness and ramped it up in myself, so that's fun. All my Steam friends. Antiluster in our community is a fucking god. That's all I have to say.
Oh shit, really?
Antiluster's got some stupid short times. I can beat everyone else that I'm friends with. Antiluster just schools me on a bunch of the maps. So everyone else, I went in, saw Chris, just destroyed his scores for the first 2 missions. Absolutely fucking annihilated.
Yeah, it's absolutely it's not Europe maps, so that's his weakness, dude. Crazy.
Oh god.
Soapy beat your sub 5-minute Kirby to Arena when? No, never. Absolutely never.
I think I'm 10 or 11 levels, like missions deep in Neon White. I haven't played it in a few weeks, but it is very, very good. I have up to this point all platinums, all gifts, or all aces, all gifts. I'm playing offline, which means I don't have leaderboards, unfortunately.
Offline, Elise?
Offline?
Why? Yeah, why would you play offline?
Offline? I should have just, like, paid for the game on Steam.
Elise. Oh my god, Elise. Oh my god. That is part of the game, though. So, like,
it is.
That's a lot of the fun for me.
I'm just like, I'm racing the developer. I'm getting like the ace times, and I have one author medal.
Author's beating a dev time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't have one of those yet. But yeah, it's very fun for me to like see people on there. I'm like, on occasion, like I'm a full like 5 seconds behind people, and I'm like, yo, how the fuck did you do this? And I just try the level like 6 times, and eventually I'm like, oh, got it. You did this weird combination of things and made it work. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. That game's so
I really
so
appreciate if you get like a gold time. So there's like bronze, silver, gold, ace. If you get a gold time, which is like basically a really good run of like the obvious route, it shows a little hint in the world that like shows you a little path for a shortcut. And that's like, if you do a good run with the shortcut, that's an ace time.
Yep.
And then to get like the author medal to, you know, get high on the actual leaderboards of your friends or global, you need to like, you know, discover more skips, more shit in the world, and then do those really well. Which is,
or some of them, it's just execute flawlessly for some.
It's the kind of game that I want to play, one, because I know I'll enjoy it, but also because next year I can't wait to see this game at like a fucking GDQ just being like,
oh, Zach,
massacred.
There is already a level where I was like, you know what? I haven't checked the global leaderboards. I've just looked at my friends. I want to see what's up. How close am I? And someone had beaten a level in a 1/10 of a second. And I'm like, you know what? Go fuck yourself. I don't know how you did this.
I will say, I've heard there have been like reports of hacking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely cheating.
Yeah.
Okay, come on,
Wait,
Ben.
you can't beat your levels in a 1/10 of a second?
And it's usually you see that, it's like a 1/10 of a second, and then the next one's like, you know, 15 seconds. And that's like the...
Okay.
And that's like, oh, that's
I didn't scroll down that far. I just saw like the number one and was like, wow. All right, I'm never getting that guy. Okay. But they're all the levels are super fun. So far, most of them are in the like 10 to 20 second range. Some go into 30s, and then there's like sometimes like the last like part of a mission is like a minute. Your first run, and then it'll go down to like 20 seconds. But it's a great game. Absolutely love
it. But also, like you will be replaying each mission at least a few times.
Yeah. The cards are so jarring in comparison to the rest of the art style.
Yeah, which is why I didn't want to play the game.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, card system, like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever played like a marble game? Like Marble Mania or whatever?
I was like, are you saying Marvel or Marble?
Marble.
No, but I've seen them, so I know what they are.
Yeah. It is a very similar like design philosophy of like, you know, leaderboards to speedrun the level with like power-ups in between to get you over platforming challenges. And they just like took that and translated into like movement and shooting.
It reminded me a lot too so far of the newer Doom games where like each level is an encounter, and like you can do the encounter multiple times, and the goal is to figure out the puzzle of the encounter. It's not just to like shoot your way through. It's figure out the puzzle so you actually have enough resources to keep going. But that's all I've been playing. Zach, how about you?
Folks.
Anything.
Was
folks.
No, I was playing a game. I on a whim on my PlayStation 5 said, you know what? It's free. Why don't I check out this Fortnite?
Oh, I forgot you said you played Fortnite.
Fortnite's pretty good. I'm into it.
Did you ever play it with building?
No.
Okay.
That's why I love it.
Yeah, I played it with building, and it was fucking awful.
I played it with building. I played 2 home matches. I won the first one, did okay the second, never opened the game again.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The first one, it's always all you just against bots.
It wasn't because I was in a party.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, okay.
I was
in a squad of 4 and we won. Yeah. Everyone else built. I just did shooty, so I was fine.
Right. They're like building up into the sky. I'm like, I'm just gonna stay on the ground, man. I get fucking killed by like a mile away. I'm like, oh, okay.
Whoops. But basically, again, I will 1,000,000,000% say that Apex is the better competitive game. 1,000,000%. This game is not like built to be super competitive. It is built to be super fun and super addictive as far as the gameplay loop. The hook is like phenomenal of just every single match you're going in, you have like 20 different like quests you can try and do, and it can just be as simple as like do this much damage with this type of gun, or it can be visit this location on the map, or some of them are like bonkers of like this week they put Indiana Jones as a skin you can get in the game, and you can't buy it, you have to do quests for it. And one of the quests was like genuinely like you had to go to this area that was like a archaeology like a dig, and like there are like 4 different, each time you spawn in there are 4 different like runes that are scattered across this area, and then you have to go into this like cave and like turn these things so it matches up with what the runes are, and then like the cave opens up and you start going to the cave, and oh shit, you're getting shot by like poison darts from the side, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I get in, it's like, oh, here's the gold thing, and I pick up the gold thing, and I'm like, they're gonna make a boulder come after me, aren't they? And the boulder came after me, and my first time I did it, and like this is hard because it's a battle royale. Like people like spawn into this area with me. It's like I kill them all, and then I get there.
Okay.
Dude, I'm dropping like 5 kids almost every game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's mostly kids.
This one definitely makes you feel real fucking good because I can blast people's asses in this game. But like, I come in and like I died after I got through it the first time because I like was running from the boulder and the fucking poison darts shot at me again and I died. And I was like, motherfucker! So I had to respawn in and come back and did it right the next time and got the piece. So I have Indiana Jones now. But
next Save Data Cast, if I remember, your ass's nickname is Ass Blaster.
No, that's fine. But it's genuinely pretty fun. The cosmetics in it are bonkers good. Of just like the variety. I mean, I joked about it in the Discord, but I genuinely play with Chun-Li with an Among Us figure on her back, and I think I have like something else stupid for like my glider, but like as a joke. It's genuinely pretty fun. Again, for me, the progression system is genuinely probably the best I've seen. Granted, I don't have much experience with battle passes, but like this blows every other battle pass out of the water. And it's $9. And I paid $10.
How long is the thing for?
I mean, over a month. Like 2 months, I think.
I think the battle pass lasts for a while. Pretty long.
Yeah. And then while you're doing the battle pass, you unlock in-game currency back. So like I spent $10, 9 of it went to the battle pass, and then I've probably made like $9 back of in-game currency, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So
it's like it wants you to chain the battle pass, because like if you finish the paid battle pass, you get like half the currency back or something.
Yeah. The thing that pisses me off is I pay for the battle pass, and then the week after they announced like Fortnite Crew, which is like a monthly sub, but it's like you pay $10 and then you get $10 worth of in-game currency. So it's like, what? I don't care. Sure, great. Mm-hmm. But then it also buys the battle pass for you. And I was like, well, fuck, I would have just done that. But they announced it after I bought the battle pass.
You would have done that, played for a month, and then stopped. And it just...
That's fair. I mean, right now, you also do get a cool skin, like a witch skin. That I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I will say, like, they do, going into the shop, if it's not a licensed skin, so many of the skins are just dumb shit.
Oh, yeah.
Suck. And they'll be like, oh, pay us $16 for this. And I'm like, no, it's a fucking dude wearing a hazmat suit. That's fucking nothing. And then it's like, oh, I can pay $16 and get Naruto. And he can do the Rasengan. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh, that's what it is. My Chun-Li can make the Rasen Shuriken.
I wouldn't wear a Naruto skin if they paid me to.
So it's just some funny shit of like, how bonkers do you want to make it? And then also I genuinely do feel pretty good playing it because I do beat a lot of people.
And Zach, there's no
Rocky skin.
When you bought your V-Bucks for the Battle Pass, did you use the Epic Games code Save Data Team at checkout?
Fun fact, I can't because my Epic Creator account is the Save Data Team account.
They stop it?
Yeah, you can't use your own account.
You can't kick back to yourself. Damn.
Yeah. I tried, which is really shitty.
Sad.
Can't get that 5% kickback.
Yeah. Sorry, really quick. Snowcat says I like several of the original skins. The Vampire Hunter Cowgirl is awesome. I will say of this battle pass, most of the skins that you can unlock in it are pretty great. There's like 2 that I'm like, I'm not gonna wear this. This sucks. But like, I think a lot of the more modern skins look really good. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a good game.
Speaking of good games, let's talk about some old good games that we want resurrect from the depths of video game hell. In some cases, literal development hell. In other cases, they've just been. So folks, that's right. We're talking about games came out, or a series just stopped, you know. And what sparked this was this. What was it? Past week? I think it was right after we did Around the Monitor last. Or after we had made the stories. Sucker Punch had announced, weirdly, on like their 25th anniversary of the studio, they made a blog post that was like, by the way, we're not working on Sly Cooper or Infamous. So, and also no one is working on them. Not just we're not working on them. No one is working on these games. Please stop asking us for them. Which I get not wanting to get asked about a game you made like 20 years ago repeatedly over and over again when you've moved on. But like, why post that on your 25th studio anniversary? That's it was such a choice. Fucking weird thing.
It was a weird choice.
Very weird choice, but it got me thinking, what are some other franchises that we might want to bring back from the dead? Because quite frankly, I don't give a flying fuck about Infamous or Sly Cooper. I couldn't care less about either of those series. I think I haven't played Infamous, and I played the first Sly Cooper game, so but I got thinking of some. I posited the question to you all: what games do you want to bring back from the dead? And Jason, you had said earlier you didn't want Zach to steal yours, so I'm giving you first shot at what game you want to bring back.
How do you want to do this? Do you want me to mention a couple and then like go in deep on one, or?
Yeah, it works. It's fine.
Okay, so I have some joke ones. As in, I don't think they should be coming back, or they're like dead / they would be bad if they came back. I think this might be on Zach's list, so I hope it is, because it's not a good game.
You led with that, Jason. These are bad games or games I don't think should come back. It's probably on Zach's list.
F-Zero, in its current state, could not come back now and be a good game. I think the series actually probably should just stay dead. It's not a good series. Sorry. I really do not think as a racing series it's that good in comparison to a lot of its peers.
GX is pretty good, but
it's just, I don't think it works nowadays, is what I would say. Even if it did come back, I don't know how you could do it
with how well that Hot Wheels game did. I think
I would rather have them have a Captain Falcon like bounty hunter style game where he's like first personing than a racing game.
First person Falcon Punch. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I would rather have Captain Falcon doing cool stuff. Star Fox is a joke. I don't think it could work nowadays as well.
I agree with that one.
They've tried it many 100%. Times and it just doesn't work. We have nostalgia goggles for 64. You can get away with it back then with being like kind of like meh games and like gallery shooters, but I don't think it works now. And that's when its heydays were. So there's other games in the series that are not gallery shooters and they're not that good. Tricky is being the number one example of why that game sucks. The other one, so Star Fox Adventures. Sports sims as a whole, I would have like all the streets. NFL streets, NBA streets.
NBA.
So like arcade sport games.
Arcade sport games need to come back.
You said sim, and I was like, isn't that what FIFA and Madden?
I grew up with them in the mid 2000s. Their heyday was like the mid 2000s, late 2000s. They had a remake of NBA Jam in like the late 2010s. That game was awesome. But the street games are fucking. Volume 2 is one of the best GameCube sports sims out there for NBA. And then NFL Streets are pretty good too. Paper Mario is a good franchise. Is another one I had on this list.
They just got a game last year.
Yeah, and it's not that good. Its gameplay's fine, but it's now become a meme of itself where the Toads are like taking priority over everything. It needs to go back to being a turn-based strategy game. Super Paper Mario is fine, but the first two are where everybody really likes the games. I know Origami King is fine, but the other two between it were garbage, like legitimately fucking bad. So they're kind of dead. They're kind of like a middling zone. So those are my joke answers. So I got honorable mentions here. Is Dark Cloud.
You fucker. I said it in the intro. You can't
Yeah, but you haven't played one, so you don't get to say it. Golden Sun.
Have you played 2?
Yes, I have. Thank you.
I could have sworn you said you didn't play 2.
You haven't played 1, so play 1 and then say it's a good franchise to bring back.
Jason came with the fire today. Jeez.
Golden Sun as a series. Golden Sun is a series. It's real good. Advance Wars is dead. Even if they release their new one and remake it, it is dead. I don't think that series is ever going to come back the way it was. And even if it did, it'll be some amalgamation that's not really Advance Wars. I think that series is dead because they're going to focus on Fire Emblem, which they probably should.
Listen, Jason, this isn't which ones you think will come back. This is which ones you want to come back.
I would want Advance Wars back, but I wouldn't want Advance Wars Days of Ruin back. So that's another thing,
fair.
too.
That's fair.
Fable, Sunyama actually mentioned that. I think Fable should come back. They're already making another one, I believe. They announced it. I thought of the thing.
It's announced.
Yeah. Hopefully Fable 3 is not the way direction, because I liked Fable 2 and 1, did not like 3 that much.
I think a lot of people felt that way, so you're probably okay there.
And then my last honorable mention is David, close your ears. When there was a company that was not about being greedy and shitty back in their olden days, they made good RTSs. And RTS as a series nowadays is kind of dead, so I don't know if it could ever come back, but especially since they botched the re-release of this game. But Warcraft 3 is the best RTS ever made. Fight me, bite me if you think it's StarCraft 2. It is not. Warcraft 3 or Warcraft 4 being released. They said after Brood War they would do it, and they said after they finish World of Warcraft. They're never going to finish World of Warcraft. They lie, but we're used to what they do as a company, and they're pretty garbage. They're the most hit or miss company probably in existence of having great nostalgia-based games, but doing a lot of stupid things.
Hey, Jason, I put RTS Warcraft on my list too, so you're good.
Yeah, RTS Warcraft.
I want it
RTS
back,
Warcraft is fucking, it's just god tier. They had like a hero system. It was so good with it as well. So my real answer, and I'm surprised Zach could not think of this in the pre-show of what my answer would be for the actual number one choice, the game. This a little backstory. This kind of shows how dumb Nintendo is. My theory or my go-to phrase with Nintendo is they would invent a flying car with square wheels. They do all this cool interactive stuff with like releasing cool stuff and being on top of the game, and then all of a sudden they'll go backwards 15 steps. Like, we made this hard mode that like no one wants to play or something like that. Or we have this is only released in Japan, which is the focal point of this game. They don't release their games outside of Japan. And fuck off, Nintendo. There's a lot of games you should be doing that. This one in particular, I could go on a rant about Fire Emblem. I'm not going to save your ears on that, but they need to release their Fire Emblem games that are only in Japan. And Custom Robo, I think, are another series that's only in Japan too. But this one is Mother. And Earthbound and Mother is a dead series, in my opinion.
Everyone's opinion.
And it is the number one wish list game that needs to come back as a series. And stop fucking joking around. Stop fucking around and not re-releasing it or whatnot, or joking that you're going to re-release it. But like, it is a joke. You have them in Smash Brothers, so you acknowledge its existence. They're referenced in every single fucking one. So like, they're just teasing us. And I think that's why it's the most aggravating to me, because they know that people want it released or re-released, and they're just fucking lazy about it. It's just a new Mother game. I think it could work, and Undertale and Deltarune show that it could work. that those games can work if they're done correctly and re-released in time. And I think they're super smart for the time period they're made in, and creative, and they're just outstanding games. So that's my number one choice. Easy. It's just not even close on anything else.
I think it was earlier this year, maybe late last year, when like the creator of Mother was like making some fucking like Mother 3-esque tweets before Nintendo Direct.
Right before a Nintendo Direct. Yeah.
And everyone got super hyped, and then it was just the stuff that already existed is on the virtual console.
Yeah.
It's just a joke. And the excuse of like the I get why they didn't release their games outside of Japan early on in their career, their lifespan. It's even not even that early. I get it. But it just is an insult to anybody who plays, and like then they'll be so they'll do this, and then they'll be very defensive about ROMs, and I'm like, okay, nice square wheels you fucking put on your flying car, you dipshit.
Yeah,
like it's ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous. So yeah, that's my number one choice of franchise that need to be revived. I didn't mention other ones that have like only one game in the series. Shadow of Colossus is a great game, but it's not a franchise or something like that. So
no,
anyway, that's my choice.
Elise, how about you?
All right. I have 9 things written down. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my 9, 6.5, honestly, of my 9 are space games.
Okay.
Good start.
1, 2, 3, 7. 6.5, let's say. First off, let's talk about Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh yeah,
that is coming back.
Is it?
There's a remake coming.
They're remaking it.
There's a full remake coming.
Okay.
But it's not like
there's
new.
A remake.
It's not new, yeah.
There's the MMO.
Question for you, Elise.
That's not Knights of the Old Republic.
I played the MMO. It's good, by the way.
In the well, actually, I guess for everybody, because everybody here loves KOTOR. If they re-release, oh, that's right. That's right. You would love KOTOR. For the remake of KOTOR, would you want them to still do the turn-based combat?
It's not turn-based, or it's like kind of.
It's like
I know what Zach's saying.
Real time with pause.
It's like Final Fantasy 11, or
it's
12.
It's real time with pause.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, works really well. KOTOR like did it with an interesting perspective of like basically kind of being a third-person game, but like it's basically the same system as Baldur's Gate and
it's like a D&D 3rd edition, or something like that.
Yeah. And it is literally based on a D20 system. Like behind the scenes, it's rolling a D20. You can see in the log if you look, like what your D20 rolls were.
Which is dope.
I think it works really well. I think fucking the new Obsidian games, Tyranny, Pillars of Eternity, those have done really well with it too. That said, I don't know how well it'll sell for like a BioWare game, and I could very much see BioWare, who are like, the people who made this, making it more like a Mass Effect.
Making it.
Are they not?
No, it's Aspire is the company.
Okay.
They're aspiring to be BioWare, so
I want to say they're one of the Saber Interactive companies. That's correct. Okay, yeah, they're part of Saber. Do a bunch of weird stuff, so
I could definitely see them making it into like a real-time game, which will be interesting. There's a lot of variety that you can do. You can make yourself like a gunslinger, you can make yourself like a Jedi sword person, Sith, one lightsaber, 2 lightsabers, double lightsabers. And that would be a lot to make into like a real-time combat system, I think.
That's true.
Which meant that they would have to like compromise, and also they would have to like compromise controlling your other party members, and I don't know that I want them to do that, which means I think they should keep a similar system. Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Some other things I have here. Another Star Wars thing, Empire at War, which is
RTS?
It's a Total War, basically. It's like RTS and Grand Strategy.
That would be a fun
like,
one just to give to Creative Assembly to make, like they did with Warhammer.
Yeah. I really think Star Wars, Empire at War, Total War. Because that's basically what it is. It's like you're hopping around planets. There's space battles. There's ground battles that are like RTS. But then the higher level is like I think it's also technically real time, but it's like more like a 4X game. Which it works really well, and it's a really damn good game that I really think they could remake or like make a new one. They've got Free Space. Which was like one of the original fucking.
Sorry, I was confused. I was like, you had like a bingo board. You're like, then I got Free Space.
Oh, I was thinking of Free Cell Solitaire. I was like, how is this space related?
That's good.
Free Space, I think, was actually an evolution of, or like a spin-off of. Fuck, I'm forgetting the name. Anyway, it was like one of the original fucking space sims, like joystick, go in with do space battles. I recently played it a few months ago, like Free Space 2.
Chat says Wing Commander.
Wing Command. Was it Wing Command? No, Descent. It was Descent.
I don't know that. I know Wing Commander.
Descent was basically a Doom clone, but in 3D with 0G. It was like a really early or FPS.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, what if we made Doom, but in space, in like little space stations where you can like go up and down and everything. I haven't actually played it myself, but it seems dope. And then they made Free Space out of that, and 2 games in Free Space. The last one came out in 1999.
Oh, wow.
But they could totally bring it back. I know space sims are notoriously hard to make. See fucking Star Citizen.
They're Ian Gibson bait.
But I absolutely love them. What else do I have here?
Elise, could you put your hand in front of your camera and see if it'll refocus?
She's going to space.
Yes. Okay. Let me. What's happened here?
Free Space.
Oh! It's doing something. There you go.
Okay. Not better?
Yep. All good.
Good. Yeah. I'll go one more. I'll say fucking Portal.
Oh.
I mean,
Portal is not a space game. It is sci-fi though.
That's true. I just didn't even think of Portal. But yeah, that's been dead for a while, hasn't it?
Yep, it's very good.
Portal 1 is like a really, really solid 1-hour puzzle game. Portal 2 is like taking that idea and just extending it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been, 10 years? 15
11.
years?
It's been 11 years since Portal 2.
Yeah.
I think the main reason they haven't is because Portal 2 was quite long and really did a lot with the concept. So if they don't make another like literal Portal game, I just want to see like something in that ilk. I want to see Valve make a
Talos Principle. You could do.
Talos Principle is really good.
Yeah.
You're right. I want to see like that team, or that team probably doesn't exist anymore because it's been 11 years and they probably all split up. But I want to see like Valve, that what's left of that
Valve
team,
that makes games
or whatever, make another puzzle game. Basically,
I would like to see Valve just make more games.
Team Fortress 3. It's
God,
time.
can you imagine if they announced they were making that game when Overwatch 2 is coming out? We're just like, we're actually going to kill Overwatch.
Time to die, Overwatch. Overwatch Dies edition.
Oh.
Also, really quick, shout out to the person who made the Portal Flash game. That game fucking kicked ass.
Portal Flash game?
It was a 2D like side scroller Portal game, but they still did so much with the puzzles with Portals. Fucking banger.
That's not the person who ended up working on Portal, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay, because the person who ended up making Portal, like the primary dev behind it was like a college student that did it as like a college project, like a Portal game, and Valve saw it and like hired them.
Oh, that's dope.
Let's see. I'll do one honorable mention that is just one game that they were going to make a sequel of and they canned, which is Sleeping Dogs.
Oh,
yeah.
I really liked that game. It was like open world GTA, but with actually like good combat and better story. GTA story is just hot garbage most of the time.
Nico, my cousin.
Yep. Such a shame that they put the GTA 4 remaster on hold. Such a shame.
So not. Fuck that game. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it was so just fine. Go with. I want to talk about one that is it's part of a franchise that is still in existence, but the type of game is gone to time. That's Mega Man Legends, baby.
No, you son of a bitch! That was on mine.
I want the Mega Man Legends franchise back.
Yeah,
I have
dude.
not really played any other Mega Man games other than Battle Network and Legends, both of which are awesome. And Battle Network's coming back to the Switch like with Fury, I think later this year, next year, something like that. Where they're just like, here's all the games. There's like 12 of them. But Mega Man Legends, there's 1, 2, and then the Misadventures of Bontron. And I fucking love those games. They're so good. They're so campy, but like humor's on point. They're weird. They're fun. Actual good RPG. Give me more Mega Man Legends. Please.
100%.
Please. That's Capcom, right?
Yeah, it's Mega Man.
Yeah, it's Capcom.
I always mix up Capcom and Sega like all the time. But
one has good franchises.
Sega has Yakuza and they own Atlas.
Sega has Yakuza and owns Atlas. Yeah.
Wait, sorry, they also have Skies of Arcadia. Forgot about that one.
It's fucking dead, David.
I wasn't
not even a franchise.
I wasn't saying that. I was saying it's a good IP.
It is. Hey, it procced my Welcome to Vice City meme when you're fucking gunning people down.
Yeah.
I was mixed up Capcom and Bamco.
Oh, Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
I just only think Bandai Namco makes Tales.
It's true. Ashes in the Hourglass points out they also have Valkyria.
They do have Valkyria Chronicles.
This banger,
which is very banger. Well, 2 of the 4. Banger.
Yeah.
So in addition to Mega Man Legends, I'm going pretty old school for now. A game that recently got put onto PlayStation Plus that I would like to see done with a modern sensibility is Ape Escape.
Okay.
Like, give me an Ape Escape made by the Team Asobi people. I feel like we got a good Ape Escape Resurrection going there. I really like those games. They're like, I shouldn't say that. They're fun games that were like, especially the first one, exclusively made to be like, here are analog joysticks on a controller. This is the purpose of this game, and really this whole franchise is to just be a tech demo franchise. But I really want them to just let that franchise be its own thing. Like, have fun.
Yeah.
So,
Ape Escape was a fun game. Like, I think you could make that work in a more modern
I think you'd make it like more modern, throw in some more like 3D platforming, because it was more about the catching than like 3D platforming. I think you could combine
it was more about flicking the analog sticks.
Yeah. More about catching the apes.
Yeah.
But that stuff was like really had fun with those. Let's see. I'm not gonna. There's one that Zach, if it's not on your list, I'm gonna be disappointed in you, but I'll come back to that later. So I'll do one more, and that is Okami. I want Okami back. They had a really good PlayStation 2 era game. very good game. And then they had some really bad DS games.
I heard about the DS games.
They're not good from what I've heard. Although I was at like a used game and bookstore like last weekend, and they were selling like Okami Den for like $70, and I was like, "You all are idiots. No one's gonna buy this. This game is bad." But I really, really want Okami back. And Soapy, yeah, I think Okami was better on the Wii because you could do the actual drawing and it was a little easier than using the joysticks. But even using the joysticks, like I had a good time with it. So yeah, I really want Okami to come back. It'd be cool if they gave that to like what's her name? Akumi Nakamura?
Akumi Nakamura,
yeah.
Give that to her new studio, make a new Okami. Hell yeah, baby. I don't think that's happening.
Do we know what her studio is working on? They just
they're like
year, right?
building the office right now.
Yeah.
We have no idea what they're. But I just want some more Okami. I think it's a really fun Zelda, like with a really cool art style and really cool premise and stuff. So I'd love to have some more Okami, put them in some different areas and stuff. Have fun with it. And I have more, but I'll save those.
Okay. Say Neku in the chat says bring back Radiata stories. David will agree.
Yeah, I mean, like I toss that under the it only really has one game, so it's not a franchise to bring back bucket.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. Yeah. There's a bunch of one-offs.
Listen, if we're talking single games that I'd love to see a sequel, that's a whole fucking different ball game that I would love to talk about.
Really quick,
Zach's gonna have Toe Jam and Earl on his fucking list.
No, listen, have I played the game? Yes. Do I think it's that good? No.
Yes.
Roguelikes have been made way better. It has banging soundtrack. Don't get me wrong, but
that was a roguelike.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Wait, really? I never played it.
Yeah, Toe Jam and Earl is a roguelike. Yeah.
It's a roguelike.
Also, is the creator that like really kind of an asshole? Or
I think you're thinking of the Earthworm Jim guy.
But those are not the same game. You're right. Those.
I was right. I fucking got him.
Those are not the same game.
I fucking got him.
I was literally thinking of Earthworm Jim the entire time we were talking about that. Totally was thinking of Earthworm Jim. Okay.
So hey, Jason already mentioned Dark Cloud, but I do want to talk about why Dark Cloud is a good franchise. Like, because what it does, I don't think other games do or have done.
Yeah.
It is like a dungeon crawler that becomes very much it is actually a roguelike because the levels are procedurally generated. But you go in and you're getting items from enemies, drops and whatnot, and then you go to the city building section of the game, and it's like, oh, if you have these many resources, you can build this thing and build this thing, build a house, build a thing. And then you also, at least in 2, again, I didn't play 1, so fuck me. I don't know about this franchise, but in 2, it's like, oh, here are some quests that you have to like do to like get like the best version of the town.
Yeah,
and it's like
in 1, they ask each person has a request about how you make the town. Yeah.
And some of the requests are like, it becomes like a puzzle solving thing in itself, where it's like, I want 3 houses next to the mill.
Correct.
And it's like, oh, I want the mill next to the river. And it's like, okay, how do I make all these things work? And then in Dark Cloud 2, it was cool because you could jump forward and backwards in time. And so you would jump forward like 10 years after you had like built the town. And then it's like, oh, like, look how prosperous it is because of the, how you started building it, which is really cool. And you get like better items and gear off of that. Also in Dark Cloud 2, it had this buck wild mechanic where for one of the playable characters, because he's like an inventor, you could take pictures of things in the world and it would give him an idea. And if you took like certain pictures of certain things, he would be like, oh, I have an idea to make a better gun that you would just get as equipment for the rest of the game, which is like so fucking cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely something that you would definitely use a fucking guide for, because like, how the fuck are you going to know to take a picture of a fire hydrant and it's going to make your character be like, oh, I can make a shield out of this. And it's like, what?
Oh, yeah, dude, old games, I don't know how the fuck people played those. Like, even myself included. When I was playing Final Fantasy VII this past week.
Yeah.
No, I played against Ruby Weapon. I cheated. I gave up on that shit for the platinum. I cheated that shit.
Yeah, but it like, such a cool game. It does make me think of what's that fucking SNES game that I won't shut up about?
Chrono Trigger?
No.
Super Metroid?
They just did a remake of it.
ActRaiser?
Like ActRaiser, thank you. Yeah, ActRaiser is like kind of the shitty blueprint for Dark Cloud, and Dark Cloud is the good version of it.
Somebody said it sounds like Animal Crossing, but better. It is nothing like Animal Crossing.
No, yeah,
No.
it's not.
Unfortunately.
It's not. It's like the dungeon crawling is like very
the battling would have to be updated for both of these games.
Oh, for sure.
Really fucking bad.
For sure. Especially Dark Cloud 2, like
one's is really bad.
You can get in a mech for one of the characters and like you just like your attacks are all the same and you're just like swinging. You're just it becomes like a button mash.
Same.
Ancestor shit 100 bits saying I'm late. How are y'all? Ancestor, David was talking you up earlier, saying your times in Neon White are fucking unbeatable.
They're nuts. I think I've only beaten you on like 2 maps.
There you go.
Also, whoever invented in Dark Cloud 1 having repair powder needed to repair your weapons. That is an awful mechanic as well. So
any type of like weapon repair
your
shit.
weapon can break. Correct.
Except for in Breath of the Wild, where it was done
what
well.
The fuck? Analysts are on top 25. Jesus Christ, analysts.
Whoa.
Jesus.
Another franchise that has not been mentioned yet and is supposedly being worked on, Ubisoft, is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Let us get some stealth action in here, baby. Metal Gear Solid is dead. What the fuck are you doing? You have the only other like long-running stealth franchise.
When was the last one come out? Do you remember?
Excuse me, there's also there's Siphon Filter.
No. Doesn't exist. Somebody figure out when the last one came out, but like
last Metal Gear game.
Fugitive. I remember Fugitive was really cool.
Oh, wow.
Play both sides. Yeah.
The thing is like not only a Thief does exist, and that's all I'll say about that one. But like Splinter Cell, very cool missions. They were structured largely really well. Could get frustrating if you failed like halfway through or further through, but also the multiplayer mode.
The co-op was fucking awesome.
Was not just co-op, but like the competitive multiplayer for that. I don't know if anybody here has actually played this mode.
I never played Splinter Cell. I didn't know it on Xbox.
Game?
I think this was in Chaos Theory's new.
I don't think Chaos Theory had a multiplayer.
Whatever the second one was.
Enemy one, at least.
The second one, genuinely...
Pandora Tomorrow?
Pandora Tomorrow, yeah. So the way the multiplayer worked was it was 2v2. You'd have 2 spies and 2 mercenaries. And the mercenaries had guns and they were first-person shooter view. The spies had the third person, like, so they could see way more, they could do way more, but they didn't have guns. They were not lethal, and they had to like sneak around and do stuff. You could kill the mercenaries, but you'd have to get very fucking lucky to do that shit. And like the mercenaries had like different visions, so like they could see gadgets. They didn't have heat seeking, so like they couldn't just see like an outline of somebody hiding behind something, but they could see if the spies were like using gadgets and shit and like run to do that. It was just such a good multiplayer. I was so hooked on that shit. But also, yeah, the single player was great. And again, the vacuum of stealth games is very apparent.
So the last one to come out was Blacklist in 2013, which is more recent than I thought. I thought it had been gone for long.
The one where you play both sides, where it's like if you were too like deep in your like play, I fucking love that one because they would take away like
Double Agent,
Double Agent, yeah,
yeah.
That's good titling cool. When I can tell what game you're talking about. That's a good job on that. Dude, I would love just either Metal Gear Solid exists again or more Splinter Cell.
Stealth games could work too. Unlike a lot of ones I mentioned that I think mechanically they just wouldn't work nowadays. Splinter Cell definitely come back.
I mean, like,
for sure.
I know, like, famously, I'm not a huge fan of Last of Us Part 2 specifically, but they did a lot of good work with the stealth sections of that game. So, like, you could do stealth parts, like, it still works. MGS5 was fan-fucking-tastic. Had modern stealth sensibility. All right,
Zach
Zach,
is all, I'm surprised.
Still haven't said the one I thought
mean,
you
I
would
have
say.
more. I was just trying to like give like more nuanced conversations to some of them. Tony Hawk. I mean, I know 1 and 2 just came out, but like also Tony Hawk's Underground, like taking the like arcade, like going for the best score thing, but also adding like a story and an open world kind of on top of it is really cool. Jason, you said
like,
Golden Sun.
Yeah, Golden Sun is you can talk more about, but Golden Sun is just my god.
Jason knocked it off as like an honorable mention.
Yeah, honestly, it's just like it was a good RPG franchise that had really good graphics for the Game Boy Advance.
Correct, and it's just
that is kind of all I can say about it. But they were fun.
I just can't believe it didn't even get like anything else. It's just like it was like the mystery of Golden Sun. Like it's so weird.
Wasn't it made by the team?
Was Golden Sun the one that had the solar panel thing on it?
No, that's Boktai.
Boktai, the sun is in your hands. That's right. Yeah.
Which is worked on by Kojima.
Yep.
Yeah. Pikmin.
How dead is Pikmin though?
I mean, they said they were working on Pikmin 4 like 10 years ago.
Wasn't there one on the Switch or no? Am I mixing that up?
There's one on 3DS.
They ported Pikmin 3 to
that's
Switch.
what it is. Okay.
Which was a Wii U game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the 3DS Hey Pikmin.
There was a side scroller. Yeah. That was not a good choice.
I liked where they made Pikmin co-op. That was fucking awesome.
Pikmin Bloom exists. That is true. Ashes in the Hourglass.
The fact that Ashes had to say that leads to the news story we talked about last week.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, but it's not Pikmin, you know? It's not the core Pikmin gameplay. Also, like, this is for me, but also somewhat for Beck. Point and click adventure games. I do think that it's like RTSs where, like, as a whole, that franchise is just kind of dead. But I think you could have 1 or 2 companies working on them.
Yeah.
And releasing like 1 a year, maybe, or every couple years that like would do well, like a Broken Age, that like made a little bit of a flash in the pan.
Man, part 1 was so good, then part 2 was so obtuse at times.
Yeah. Also for Sophie Finkel's Universe, they should release that. Sounds like a good game.
I was gonna say the only other adventure game I've heard of in like the last 10 years was Armacrog. From what was the first game? Neverhood people? Like claymation point and click adventure game.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, Armacrog apparently wasn't very good, but Everhood was good.
Okay, Putt-Putt's coming back in a big way, baby.
Putt-Putt's big fucking adventure. Let's go.
Get the fuck in here.
Oh my god. Yeah. Jason, do you have any other ones you want to talk about?
No, I mean, like I said, I kind of I try to run mine by pretty quickly. But I think a big thing about a lot of these games that I've mentioned is, and even a lot of my Padres mentioned, is that they just don't like work. A lot of the reason why they are dead is like what I want. I was going to write a video on this. It was like a dead franchise video. It's like the importance of like a series dying gracefully. And I think that's a very important thing. Like I know it sounds bad. Like what I want them. So I actually had a comparison for like Assassin's Creed. Like as Assassin's Creed, I played a numerous amount of them in the series, and Zach has not played a single one, which is crazy to me.
This is true.
Yeah, that's wild.
He plays it, so he actually hasn't played one, so he can brag about it. I'm pretty sure at this point in his life.
I mean, at this point, I'm like,
yeah, because me and Rob have offered to play it like with him in co-op, which you can do in some of them. But like,
never happened. You're lying.
Anyway, the point is like Assassin's Creed isn't even Assassin's Creed anymore. It's like Assassin's is fucking like Assassin's
RPG. It is an RPG.
Yeah, or like combat like thing. It's not even like a fucking thing anymore. It's a shell of itself. I'd rather the game be dead, like Advance Wars, like the way it is, like, and not kind of keeping going down that route that I didn't like already. Like same with BioShock. Would I want them to make another BioShock Infinite, or do I want them to just kind of like die with like knowing that the first two were so like cinematically great and the other one was kind of weird? It went off the trails a little bit. I don't know. I think it personally, like that's why a lot of these I'm like, I think they should just stay dead. Not like what you guys mentioned. You guys picked ones that I think age a little bit more gracefully than mine, but I don't know. I think
I think for all of them, even the ones I talked about, like they do have to change still. Like there's, well, I could talk about Ape Escape. If you just poured it, like made a new Ape Escape with the same sensibilities, shit would be garbage.
Yeah.
It would not be good. Okami would probably still be okay, especially like on a PlayStation 5 with the touchpad or something. Like that'd be okay, but like
it's how much the game changes too, without still remaining its core.
For sure.
Thing that made it loved, and then also updating is a tricky, very tricky slope to run. Like I said, Paper Mario fell off the slope, is what I'm saying. It still makes games, but what made it so lovable and great, it's picking the wrong things about it, I think, is the problem.
Yeah.
So that's another one I'm like, okay, well, it's not dead, but like, would I rather it just be like 1,000 Year Door and like maybe be a little bit stale? Maybe. I'm not sure. So, I don't know.
That's fair.
Same, Banjo-Kazooie is a great example too. Like Ukulele, I don't know how much I like that game and how much platformers really resonate. You know,
it's the weird thing with platformers, Jason, where I want to agree with you 100%. I'm like, honestly, like platformers do fucking nothing for me anymore. But every time that motherfucker Mario shows up, I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do it, man.
It's collectathon platformers too, is what you could call them.
Collectathon platformers are fucking dead.
Which is Banjo-Kazooie more than Mario, by the way.
Yeah,
so.
It's why they'll never fucking do Donkey Kong 64.
Correct. There, you know?
Donkey Kong 64 is the most collectathon of them
Disgusting amounts of collectibles.
And also Donkey Kong 64 fucking sucks.
It is made of like paper. You can go through like every wall in that game. They rush that game pretty well.
Yeah.
Do you know how to beat Beaver Bother though?
What?
I don't know.
Beaver Bother is like the hardest minigame in Donkey Kong 64. It's basically impossible.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, fuck that minigame. Like there's several ones, but like some of them are just like fucking bonkers.
Oh, I have another game too. I just thought of. I don't know why I didn't think of this, but again, it probably is more nostalgia based. It's Time Splitters. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you do love Time Splitters.
I had that on my list too, and that's another one that would have to change a bit. Like you couldn't just port Time Splitters.
Here's what I'll say about Time Splitters: as an arcade shooter, it is probably near the top of the list. Of just like having fun with your boys and just fucking playing. So, you could just put on like random. It did like what Halo like random like custom lobbies did before like Halo even existed.
Oh
like,
yeah,
just
100%. It did somewhat like a light version of some of the Forge mode stuff too. Like,
you want to play as snowmen who like ride magic carpets? You can. You want to do Iris mode? You can.
We're just gonna make everything obscenely customizable too. Like
correct.
What weapons you can get. Yeah.
I think in the series I looked it up. It was going to be a trivia question. It had 565 characters over 3 games.
That's not even remotely shocking, and I only played 2.
One other franchise really quick that I would love to see. Honestly, I would love to see this franchise get annualized. Is like fucking like the RPG Castlevanias, like the Game Boy Advance and DS Castlevanias. If you release one of those every year, I'd lose my fucking minds. No, the 64 one was trash. Everyone knows that. And I know that Iga did Bloodstained, and it was pretty good. I liked it. I wish I didn't play it on Switch, or I wish that the Switch version was better, but.
I did hear that was kind of a trash fire. The Switch version.
It's the only time that I've played a Switch like game that was available on other platforms, and I was like, I should have played it on the other ones.
Yeah.
But man, those fucking when they released the Game Boy Advance like Castlevania collection on Switch, I replayed that this year, and I was like, this is pretty fucking good. I miss these games of just like pretty mindless Metroidvanias where like you're leveling up slowly, you're getting better gear, you're getting better abilities, and every now and then you run into a fun little boss, and that's it, you know?
Yeah.
Played Symphony of the Night a good few years, like 4 years ago, and that was pretty dope. I don't think it lives up to like a lot of the more modern Metroidvanias. Like,
I'll take it, Elise. I'll take that.
But it was really fun, and it's really worth like going back to as like one of the founders, one of the like original Metroidvanias. Like the reason that word is because of Symphony of the Night.
It's true.
Yeah, that's
true.
I had a few others that I wanted to. I gotta mention one for our boy Chris, who is out sick today. And that's Armored Core.
Oh, dude, yeah, dude.
Bring Armored Core back, baby. I got like a really bad Armored Core ripoff with Deus Ex Machina, or not Daemon Ex Machina, not Deus. Daemon Ex Machina a couple years ago. That game wasn't good. That game was pretty bad. Didn't even finish that game, and I'm like notorious for just playing through games that I don't like. And it was still bad. So don't want that. But give me a new Armored Core from Software. It sounds like we may get one from the rumors and stuff, but I want that for real. Another one I wrote down, which I think most of us here can agree with, is Metal Gear Solid. I would like to have that back as a thing.
I'm split on that, to be honest with you. I think it goes back to what Jason was saying of like it's not going to be the same without Kojima.
Yeah, I was going to say it would need Kojima or someone like Kojima to run it, but I would like it back, mainly because they didn't finish the last game.
No, they sure didn't finish that
game. That's the main reason that I want it back. Another one I have was Final Fantasy Tactics. I would like to have that back just for real. Granted, there are like 3 or 4 Final Fantasy Tactic-esque games coming out in the next year, but I want like the actual thing. Triangle Strategy was close. It was close. It had a lot of good parts, and it was some of the job and other pieces that I really, and like abilities that I really liked in Final Fantasy Tactics weren't there. Otherwise, that game would have been, if they also fixed some of the choices being stupid, perfect game. But and then the last one I had, which one I thought Zach would mention, but I get it why you didn't. Chrono.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've only played Chrono Trigger. I have not played Chrono Cross. I've heard a lot of mixed things about Chrono Cross
for sure.
Nah, there were so many mixed feelings on it.
I'm surprised you didn't, because I played both now.
Yeah, you thought Cross was okay, right?
Yeah, like I thought Cross was okay. There was a bunch of stuff that's like, this game is made for multiple playthroughs without actually like delivering on it. Because there's like a bunch of characters that you can't get unless you make different choices that you would never fucking make playing the game, like getting your friend to join your party who is like one of the best characters in the game. You have to say no to the person who pops up and is like, I want to help you, like 3 times. You have to basically be like, hey, fuck off, you're not helping me. And then your like childhood friend joins you, and then the other person just joins you later, and it's like stuff like that.
How would you know to do that?
Yeah, how like you wouldn't do that unless you're like a fucking crazy person who's doing saves all the time and trying things and going back to see what changes. Which God bless you, guide writers, but like I wouldn't want to do that.
They're remaking or remastering that game for Switch, aren't they?
Chrono Cross, it's already out. That's when I played it.
It's already out.
It was earlier this year. It was Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers edition.
I didn't realize it was already out.
Yeah, it had Chrono Cross and then this really weird pure text adventure game that I did not jive with, which was like sort of related to Chrono Cross and by proxy sort of related to Chrono Trigger. It was weird. I didn't really like the text adventure thing. I played it because like Reb Valentine over at IGN was like, you should play this to understand Chrono Cross. Or like, I shouldn't say understand, to have like context for some of the Chrono Cross stuff. And the context was nice. I would have rather just read about it than played it. But it was cool. And like, I thought it was a decent game. Whereas Chrono Trigger, I think was straight up just better. But some of the mechanics hadn't aged as well as the Chrono Cross mechanics had aged because it's just an older game. But yeah, I'd like to see another timey-wimey fucking with shit RPG from Squaresoft. Square Enix.
Arky in the chat points out Legacy of Kain. I unfortunately have not played any of those games. I'm assuming none of us have. But I know that people love those games.
I played the PlayStation 1 demo version of Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver.
So you basically get it.
Basically get it. But yeah, I know a lot of people love those games. Soapy also, in the chat did mention Beautiful Joe, which I do really like and would love to see come back too.
I do love Beautiful Joe. I didn't know until this year that Amy Hennig worked on Legacy of Kain. That's actually fucking rad.
Yeah, she's one of the main writers on it.
Yeah.
For like most of them, I think, if not all of them.
Beautiful Joe fucking kicks ass.
I would love for Legacy of Kain to get on PlayStation Plus on any of the tiers. Honestly, just put it on there.
Yeah.
I would actually give it a shot finally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got one here. So this is kind of a cheat because it's part of a series, but it's a series that moved away from what this was, and this is Endless Legend.
Okay. I had a different series in mind, but okay.
what series did you have in mind before I go ahead?
The Xeno series before it became Xenogears, or sorry, before it became Xenoblade.
No, I'm talking about Endless Legend here, which is my favorite strategy game. And the Endless series does still exist. There was an Endless Space 2. They're making Endless Dungeon, which is a different game than Dungeon of the Endless, which are both.
What?
Dungeon of the Endless was the first Endless game, and Endless Dungeon is the one they're making. We saw it at E3 last year, I think, or whatever it was.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah, and Endless Legend is they took that series and brought it down to ground level. I'm not going to say Earth because it's not on Earth. It's on like
space.
Origa,
or different.
I think
planets.
is the name. Yeah, but it is a Civ-like. You found your cities, you grow your cities, you 4x, conquer, explore, exploit, exterminate, expand. That's the 4x's.
Is that really what it stands for?
Yeah, explore, expand, exploit, exterminate.
I did not know that.
I didn't know. I should, but I did not know that.
Yeah, that's 4x.
Oh wow!
What I really, really like about this game, though, is how varied and unique the factions are, and also just how well like everything just fits together. The questing, the world building, the city building, the empire stuff. But like the factions are so cool. There's one that doesn't have the food resource and has to buy their population with money or dust. Because they're like robots or like automatons made of dust, basically. There's one that basically gets all their food from war and gets bonuses for being in more wars. And then they're like a bug like parasite thing that eats the corpses of the dead.
Ew.
Pretty dope though.
and they also like replicate. So you can go into war and then you get like extra units that are like kind of shitty units, but they can go above the like stack limit, the army limit. So you can just build these huge armies that are bigger than anything any other like faction is allowed by just building them up with the corpses of the dead that you kill. There's one that can't research. There's a faction that cannot research and has to steal all their tech.
That's also dope. Damn.
Yeah. And there's another one that's like only one city, but like that city grows huge. It's a really, really unique like faction system where every faction is like basically a different game.
Endless Legend, you said it was called?
Endless Legend, yeah.
I add this to my Steam wish list.
And Endless Space was good. Endless Space is actually like what got me into the franchise. And then I went back and played Endless Legend, but I feel like it just didn't work as well in space. And also just Endless Space 2 is really good. But like I still very much prefer Legend itself.
Ooh, yeah. Sunyama points out, what if Rampage went full 3D?
Wouldn't work.
No, Rampage.
Really?
I'm sorry, I'm done with Rampage.
Rampage?
Also, the last Rampage game, there was one for the GameCube, Total Destruction or something. It's not Total Destruction, but there was one that came out for the GameCube. It was rough when it went away from the side scrolling thing.
There was a Godzilla game from that period too that did like a lot of the Rampage things in 3D. It's not It's not.
It just doesn't work.
It don't work. Someone else also mentioned Spyro, and I love Spyro 1 through 3. That was enough. I didn't need more.
I love Rampage, but I think Rampage should definitely stay as the arcade side-scrolling, grind them up versus city destruction kind of thing. Unfortunately, it's where its charm is.
Just do Crash 4 for Spyro. No, like Spyro and Crash were Crash had deficiencies that could be fixed. Spyro has.
You know what the crazy part is? I think Sly Cooper has more potential than both Spyro and fucking Jak and Dexter.
Yeah. No, me too. I don't know about Jak and Dexter. I think Jak and Dexter
is like it's the problem is it's in the same shoe department as God, what's it called? Oh my God,
Ratchet and Clank.
Oh my God, the one that they actually keep making.
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank. It's too.
They are pretty simple.
They're too similar or in the same vein. You could do Sly Cooper's more stealth based, like
that's true.
You know,
Sly Cooper is a franchise that other people mentioned. Again, I have no I have no teeth in that.
Yeah. I mean, I played a little the first game like a couple years ago, and it was fine for me. I didn't keep playing I have the collection. I stopped at the first one, so
they're fine. Yeah. It's just I think those games again are kind of like how update do you want them to make, and like Ratchet and Clank survive for a very specific reason. So,
yep.
I don't know.
The last one I will bring up, mostly as a joke, is I'd like Legend of Legaia back, please. Great. There were 2 games. Needed to bring it up. You know, was the second game hot garbage? Yeah.
It's okay when you can admit you like a game that is garbage. I have done that many times.
I mean, I don't know that I like the second one that much. It's pretty bad. Like I can tack the original Psychonauts on that game because it's kind of hot garbage at times, especially the entire Meat Circus area. And yeah, Archie, Legend of Dragoon, but also only one game from that one. Cool. Like I got a second one, but not Dragoon for some fucking reason. Don't understand that. But all right, folks. Unless anyone has another one, I think we can probably call it.
Oh, Necro'd brings up Legends of Mana. Love that franchise. They
got some cool looking remakes recently.
Yeah.
Didn't you make a video on that franchise?
I did. Yeah, they actually video did pretty well
the pink
for a while.
Girl, where they remade the game.
Yeah.
That's like one of your higher videos. And
Seiken Densetsu 3, which they localized into Legends of
Mana. It's always Mana.
No, sorry. So it's something of Mana. I can't remember what the something of Mana. I can't remember what the something was.
Secret of Mana?
What?
Secret of Mana?
No, that one
Secret was the Super Nintendo one. Maybe it was Legend of Mana or Stories of Mana. Trials of Mana. Thank you, Ashley's Mini Hourglass. I played the demo of that game and it just didn't do it for me. But
I played like a demo at E3 and like I had fun with it, and then I didn't buy it. So, not enough fun.
Understandable.
Archie, we need more Vex. Get Chris out of here. Chris, take your account. We need more Mario killers to come back, you know?
Yeah, bring him back.
All right, folks. I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Save Data Cast. And yeah, Draco Lair, Breath of Fire. I'll give you Breath of Fire. Skies of Arcadia only had one entry. We talked about that. That's going to do it. So, folks, thanks for tuning in. If you like this and you're watching on YouTube, head over to a podcast network and give us a thumbs up, a rating. It would help us greatly. If you are listening on a podcast network, also give us a thumbs up or a great rating. It does help us get discovered. It would be super cool of you. Or, come over to the YouTube side if you're watching on or listening on podcast services and give us double views,
Hey.
No, that's bad. And you can also support us on patreon.com/SaveDataTeam. We are Save Data Team on all of your socials, whether that be your Facebook, your Twitter, Patreon, your Twitch, your YouTube. We're on all of those. Please come interact with us. It does help us get discovered, helps more people find our content. And it makes Raz up in the corner of my screen happy, Give Reyes some joy. Look at that cute guy. He's all giving a yawn. But that's going to do it. We will be back on Sunday for Layton. Maybe not because Chris is sick. Tentatively back on Sunday for Professor Layton.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's a good point.
If Chris is feeling better. And also Monday for Pokemon. Oh wait, no, it's not Pokemon Monday. Not Pokemon Monday.
It's gonna be the
Fall Guys Monday.
Fall Guys Save Data International. Get excited for that, folks. If you don't have Fall Guys installed, you want to compete.
Free to play, install it.
Get it now.
Then when they add level editor, finally, I'll make some levels for people.
Oh, it's gonna be buck wild.
But yeah, so we'll be back next week too with Around the Monitor, and then the week after that we'll be back with Save Data Cast again. So come tune in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody. Have a great night.
They should bring back Bubsy again.
God damn it.
No. How dare you?
Bubsy 4D, the IMAX experience.
Also, hey folks, if you haven't checked out the best of
highlight video,
go check that out because I cut it down to 30 minutes. It's tight, it's clean, and it's funny.
June highlights, 30 minutes, tight, clean stuff. Very good, very funny.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it during my lunch today. It was
nice.
Zach can't give gifts and Stardew.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time. Bye, folks.